The other piece that's really important is having peer role models, and you'll hear this kind of come up frequently. If you have a group of 8 kids that nobody's eating, who's winning? Nobody, right? So you need to have some kids that are modeling appropriate eating behavior, because again, if just the adults are modeling that, again, we're in the same situation that we're in at home. But that's why if we can have some kids in there that are eating, that is very helpful and contributes to the success. The other piece of that is, you can leave that up, Maria, that's fine. Diversity of needs. It's helpful to have that diversity. If you have all kids that like one thing, one type of food, it's not going to help you to bridge to that other food. So that diversity of needs and abilities is very helpful. You may have kids that can talk and express what they're seeing on a plate, which is helpful to the little kid next to them who's not sure if he should even touch it, and it just really helps the overall. So how do our disciplines complement each other? So this is kind of how we delineated out our roles in there. Again, there's a lot of overlap. This is very much a team approach, because that's the success of running this group, is being a team and communication about the successes and failures. But Maria generally creates all the menus and contributes recipes. So this is where she's, oh, this might be good for a group, let's try this. This has a few steps in it. This isn't too cumbersome, we could do that. And the piece I want you to think about is anything could be tailored to your environment. So we have this great space and we're very fortunate, but not everybody has that. So if you have access to a microwave and you have cookie cutters, can you replicate by bringing in some similar things? Okay? It's about being creative, which working with kids, I think you all have to be kind of creative. So the OT determines the presentation of food with oral, motor, and sensory properties in mind. So I'm looking at, or the OT in there is looking at, what is that? What are the characteristics of the food? Is it chewy? Is it resistive? Is it got a ton of flavor? What happens to it in your mouth? Does it melt right away? Does it stay as a bolus? And they're problem solving through the different food textures. The OT and the DS modify the food activity so that every kid can participate. And that's just adapting to what is currently happening for everybody's needs. The OT obviously is looking at oral motor development and making sure that they are progressing, and if they're stuck, if they're stuffing, if they are not breaking down foods, what's happening? Do they need some more supports at home in addition to this group? Do we need to adjust how we're presenting? So they're doing that assessment of their oral motor skills. The